So in this video of the course, we are going to be creating an screenshot application using Python programming. So for that, we are going to be using a package named PyAutoGUI, which has a built-in function to take a screenshot. So for that, we will go to our Chrome browser and search for PyAutoGUI, and we will get this result. So we will just click on this pypy.org, and we are going to be copying this command to install this package onto our system, which says pip install PyAutoGUI. And in here you can go through the documentation of this library. So it also provides keyboard and mouse control with the help of this library. So if you want to make some other project using it, so you can just try using this library. And it also have the screenshot function, so you can see this is the screenshot function of this library. So let me just try to install it onto our system. So for that, let's open our terminal and just try to paste this command in here, and let's try installing it onto our system. And it will take few seconds to install it onto our system. It is installing all the dependent packages which are required to install this library, and it is collecting all of them, and it will try to install it onto our system. And once the installation is finished, we can try importing this package into our program. So I will just type here import PyAutoGUI. So you can see we have imported the package. It means it has successfully installed the package onto our system. After that, we also need to import another package, which is time. So after importing these two packages, we are going to be creating a function. So I will name it as screenshot. And inside this function, we are going to be creating a variable name img, which will be equals to PyAutoGUI.screenshot. So we are calling this function to capture the screen, and after that we want to save the image with another name. So we will do img.save, and we will pass the name of the image that we want to save it with. So I will do it as test1.png, and after that we will do img.show. So it will display the image onto our screen after the image is captured. And for the testing purposes, we will take the screenshot of our desktop. So I will add another statement in here. So I will do time.sleep. So we will stop the program for around 5 seconds, and after that we will just try to call this function in here. So I will do screenshot, and if we just try to save the code and try to run it, so let's see the output. We'll wait for 5 seconds, and it should capture an image. You can see it is throwing an error that the pillow package is required to use this function. So for solving this error, we will go to our Chrome browser and search for pillow Python, and we will get this first result of PyPy, and we will just click on it, and we can copy this command to install the pillow library onto our system. So using this library, it will capture the image or the screenshot for us. So we will go back to our console, paste this command in here, and we will run the command, and it should install the package onto our system. Once that is done, we will just run our code and wait for 5 seconds on our desktop for the screenshot to be captured. So you can see here is a screenshot of our desktop. You can see it is opened as well for us, and we can just try to close it. So if we go back into our VS Code and just click on this Explorer, so you will be able to see that it has created a file named test1.png. So you can see this is a screenshot file that it has captured for us. So you can see that it has captured the image with test1.png name. But if you want to capture another screenshot, then we have to change the name of that file. Otherwise, it will overwrite that file again and again. So if I want to take another screenshot, so let's say we want to take the screenshot as test.1 again. This time we will not change the screen. We will take the screenshot of this VS Code itself. So you can see this is the output that we get, and it has opened the PNG file for us. So if we go back in here, so you can see it has overwritten the previous image and captured it as test.1. So for overcoming this problem, we want to capture each and every screenshot with a unique name. So for overcoming that problem, in here we are going to be adding a name of a variable and adding a logic for creating unique names every time. So we will add here time dot time, and it's going to be a function. And after that, in the next line, what we will do is we will again type here name equals to. So we are going to be providing the path where we want to save this file. So for that, we will just go here, and inside this folder we want to copy the path from here, and we will just try to paste it in here, and we will just close the explorer, and we will add backslash in here, and in here we want to add another backslash, and we are going to be adding the name of the file that we want to save it with. So we are going to be using the dot formatting function for that, and we will add the extension of the file. It should be .png, and after this we are going to be calling the dot format function, and we're going to be passing the name in here. And after that we will just try to change the name of the file where we are saving it. So we will just pass the variable name in here, and if we just try to save the code, and if we try to run it again, so it should this time name it with the current date and time. So let's see the output. So if we go back into our folder, so you can see it has created a file with a unique name. And whenever we create another screenshot, so I will just remove this clip from here, and every time it will create a new file with a unique name, so we don't need to override the previous image again and again. So this is how we can solve that issue of naming the file with a unique name every time. So that was it for this video. In the next lesson, we are going to be creating a GUI application for capturing the screenshot, and we are going to be using the TK enter module for that. So without further ado, let's move to the next video of this course. So in the previous video of the course, we have created this screenshot application using which we can take a screenshot of our screen, and it is saving it with a unique name every time. So now what we are going to be doing is we are going to be creating a GUI application using TK enter library. So we are going to be adding two buttons in it, one for taking the screenshot, the other one will be for quitting the application. So it's going to be a simple application with only two buttons, and it's going to be taking the screenshot for us. So for that, first of all, we will just go to our Chrome browser, and in here we will just search for TK enter, and you will find the first link, which is the docs.python.org for the TK enter library, and you can find the entire documentation of the TK enter library, and it is a built-in library in Python, so we don't need to install it externally by using the pip command. It is inbuilt library of Python, so you can go through this documentation to get more knowledge about the TK enter library. But we are going to be using some simple functions like creating a button and just showing it to the user. So for that, we will go into the import section of the screenshot application, and in there we will just try to import TK enter library. So we will type here import TK enter as TK. So we are saving it as another variable TK. So whenever we call this TK into our program, it will refer to this TK enter library. So we will go back in here, and we will just remove the function call from here, and we will just try to create a variable name root that will be equals to TK dot TK, and it's going to be a function. So in here basically we are initializing a variable name root, which we are going to be calling in our function, and we are going to be creating a frame that will be equals to TK dot frame, and in here we're going to be passing the variable root. And after that, in the next line we will do frame dot pack. So it will be creating a UI for us and creating a frame where we can add our buttons and all. So after that, in the next line we're going to be creating a button equals to TK dot button, and in here we're going to be passing first of all where we want to set the button. So we want to show the button in the frame. So the second parameter will be the name of that button or the text that we want to display on that button. So we will name it as take screenshot. After that, we're going to be adding another parameter that will be what function or piece of code it should run whenever this button is pressed. So we will add a command which will be equals to screenshot. So it will call this function whenever this button is clicked. So after that, we will just add where we want to display this button on our screen. So we will do button.pack, and in here we will do side equals to tk.left. So it will display the button on the left. So after that, we also want to create another button to close the program. So we will name it as close, which is equals to tk.button. And similar to the previous button, we are going to be passing three parameters. First one will be the frame where we want to display the button. The second one will be the text. So we will do text as quit. And the third one will be the command that we want to run whenever this button is clicked. So we will do quit. So it will quit the program for us. So after that, we will just add close.pack and set the side to left. And after that, our code should look something like this. And at the end of our code, we need to run a loop. So we will do root.main loop. So it will be showing the GUI continuously on our screen. So after adding this line of code, we can just try to save the code. And if we try to run our code, so it should display a GUI with two buttons. One will be the text screenshot and the other one will be the quit. So if I run that, so you can see here is the GUI, which is a simple two button GUI, which says take screenshot and quit. Only two buttons are there. So we will just go to our desktop and take a screenshot, and it should display the screenshot to us. You can see this is the screenshot that it has captured. And if I just close this screenshot, I will go back in here and I will just click on quit. So it should stop the program and exit the program for us. So this is how the GUI application works, and you can add different buttons into it and add different functionalities as well. So this was a simple project that we have created to take a screenshot with the help of the TikEnter module and PyAuto GUI library, and created a GUI application for taking a screenshot. So that was it for this project. I hope you understand the functioning of the TikEnter module as well as the PyAuto GUI screenshot function. So let's move to the next project of this course. So in this lesson of the course, we will try to create a password generator using Python. So for that, we're going to be using two different built-in libraries of Python that are string and random. So for that, I will just try to import them first. So I will just do import string and import random. So for generating the passwords, we will create a function named as def passgen. So basically, this password generator will generate a random password for us, and we can provide the length of the password from our end. So let's say we want to create a password with 14 characters. So we can just pass them in here and it will just create a random password for us. It will be containing numbers, special characters, uppercase letters and lowercase letters. Let's try to first create a variable name s1 that will be equals to string. So we are going to be using the string library to get all the ASCII characters in the lowercase inside this variable, which is s1. So if I just try to print out what all things are there in the s1, and if we just run this function at the end of our code, so you will be able to see that will be containing all the characters from A to Z in lowercase. You can see here are all the letters from A to Z. And if I just do a duplicate of it, and this time we will set it to s2, and instead of lowercase we will get it in uppercase. I will just try to save the code and run it again. So you can see now we have all the letters from A to Z in uppercase and as well as lowercase. Now we also need the numbers from 0 to 9. So for that we will do s3 that will be equals to string. And all these functions are built-in function in the string library, so we don't need to type all the things manually. And we will do string dot digits, and we will just try to print out the digits as well. I'll just do s3. Let's try to run the code and see. And you can see that we have the numbers from 0 to 9 added into our string. So we have the string s3 as well. So after getting all the numbers, we also need to add the special symbols in it as well. So for that, we will create another variable s4 that will be equals to string dot punctuation. So it will get all the special characters for us. And if I just try to print it out, so you will be able to see that all the special characters are inside this variable that we have created, which is s4. So now I think we have all the required characters that we need in our password. So I will just try to remove all the print statement from here. And after that, what we want to do is we want to take an input from the user that what should be the length of the password. So for that, we will create a variable as password length. And this variable will be in the form of integer, and it will be an input from our user. So in this input, I will just add enter the length, the password, and let's say we want to add a new line as well. So we will take the input from the user in a new line. So after getting the input from the user, what we want to do is we want to create a list of all these 4 strings that we have created in here. So I will just do s, which will be equals to a blank list. And after that, in a new line, we will do s dot extend. And inside this, we will pass list. And we will extend this list, which is s1. And similarly, we will do the same for the remaining 3 strings. So let's try to copy it and change it to s2. I will do the same for s3 and the s4 as well. And if I just try to print out what is the value of s, for now I will just comment out the length of the password from here. And if I just try to save the code and try to run it, you can see on the output screen that so all the characters from A to Z are separated with quotations and a comma in between them. So you can see here is what the output looks like, and it is in the form of a single list. So we have all the characters that we need in a single list, which is the list S that we have created. So now it will be easy for us to generate the password randomly with the help of all the characters, special symbols, and digits present in the list. So after that, what we will do is we will just try to randomize all these characters in this list. So for that, I will use the module that we have imported, which is random. So I will do random dot shuffle. So this is a built-in function in this library, and inside this shuffle function, we will pass our list, which is s. And if I just try to save the code and try to run it, so you can see all the characters, symbols, and the digits are randomized in the output list that we have now. So you can see the first character is D. After that, there is an special symbol, and all the other things present in this list are randomized now. So we can use this randomized list to generate random passwords. So every time we will run this code, it will shuffle this entire list randomly. So we will get a unique password every time whenever we try to create a new password. So once we are done with that, we will create the password for the user. So we will create a variable name password that will be equals to. So in parentheses, we will add double inverted commas and do dot join. And after that, we will add another parenthesis in which we will pass the string s, and we will try to set the length of the password So in here, we will start from the 0th character of the list. So we want to start the password from the 0th character of this list and go up to the value that the user has provided, which will be the password length. So I will just uncomment this from here, and in here I will just add password underscore length, and using this double inverted commas dot join, it will join all the characters that are in the password and show it as a single output on the output screen. So if I just try to print out the password, and if I try to save the code, and if we run it, so it should ask us to enter the length of the password. I think I have misspelled something here, so it should be off. If I just try to save the code and run it again, so you can see enter the length of the password. Now I will add a length of 12, and if I hit enter, so you can see on the output screen that we have a password with the length of 12, and here is the random password that it has created, and you can see it is a combination of uppercase letters, some special symbols, lowercase letters as well. So this is how we can generate a random password using Python and different modules that are available like random and string. So if I just try to run it again, so let's say we want a password of 20 characters. So if I just hit enter, you can see, so you can see that it has generated a password, which is a random password using all the elements present in the list that we have created, which is the S list, in which we have added all the lowercase letter, uppercase letter, digits, and punctuation marks or the special symbols. And it has generated a 20 character random password for us that we can use on any other website that we want. So it will generate a unique password every time, and it will be a secure password for us that we can use on our different websites that we sign up for. So anytime you want to generate different password for any of the website, you can use this program to generate random passwords for you. And additionally, you can create another file where you can store these passwords as well. So you can use a CSV file or a text file where you are storing this passwords for further use. So if you forget the password, you will be able to recover that password from these kinds of files that you will be able to create. You can even add them into a database. Let's say you want to create a password for Instagram or Facebook. So you can ask the user for which platform you want to create the password for. So it will be storing that as well. So for your Facebook password, it will store that password in front of field that says Facebook password or something like that. You can add multiple things into it. So it's up to your imagination what you want to add in this password generator application that we have created. So that was it for this lesson. Let's move to the next lesson of our course. So in the previous lesson of our course, we have created this application that can generate random passwords for us. And we need to just provide the length of the password that we need, and it will generate a random password using that length. We provide it as an input from the user, and it will just try to create a password that is randomly generated, and we can use it on any of the platform that we want. But every time we run this code, randomly a new password is generated, and the previous password that we have generated is not accessible. So to overcome this problem, as we have discussed in the previous video, that we can create a CSV file or a TXT file, or we can store these passwords in SQLite database. So in this video, we are going to be trying to store these passwords into an CSV file, and also to identify for which platform we have used this password, we will save the name of the platform as well. So for that, first of all, we need to import a library, which is a built-in library in Python. So for that, I will do from CSV import writer. So using this CSV module, we can write and read the data from a CSV file. So we are going to be using this CSV library to save our passwords as well as the name of the platform for which we have created that particular password. So first of all, let's try to create a CSV file. So for that, I will just open the Explorer, and in here, I will just add pass.csv, and if I hit enter, so it will create a new CSV file for us. And inside this CSV file, we need to create two different columns where we are going to be storing the name of the platform and our generated password. So for creating these columns, what we will do is I will just try to close this file and minimize the Explorer. And in here, we will write the code to add these two columns. So I will add head equals to, and in the form of list, we will be providing which two columns we want to create over there. So I will just provide them in here in a single quotes. I will type platform, and the second one will be the password that our password generator has generated. After that, in the new line, we will do with open. After that, we will add a parenthesis, and in there we will be passing pass.csv, and we will add a comma in between here, and we will be setting it to right, and we will do as f. So using this line of code, we will be able to open this pass.csv file and write the data into this file. And we have set all these things into a single variable, which is f. After that, in the next line, we will do write data that will be equals to a writer that we have imported from the CSV library. And inside that, we are going to be passing the variable f that we have created here to open the file. And after that, in the next line, we will do write data dot write row, and in there we are going to be passing the data that we want to write into the CSV file, which will be the head that we have created. And using it, we will be able to create two new columns into the CSV file, which will be platform and the password. And after that, if I just scroll down, and I will just try to comment out the part where we are calling this function. And if I just try to save the code, and if I try to run it, so we should get an output in the pass.csv file. And here you can see that two columns are created. The first one is platform and the second one is password. So we have successfully created two columns using the code that we have written here. Using these 4 lines of code, we have created these two new columns in our CSV file. So once we are done with that, we'll just try to close this CSV file, and from here we will just try to remove this code, and we will add it inside our password generator app. I will just uncomment this function call from here, and once we are printing out the password to the user, we will just try to write the data into our CSV file. So I will just add it in here, and I will add a tab in between. Okay, after that, what we need to do is we need to scroll up a little bit where we are getting the length of the password from the user. We also want to ask the user which platform will be this password used for. So I will just create another variable name platform that will be equals to, and we are going to be taking an input from the user. So I will just copy this from here, add it in here, and I will enter the name platform. So whenever we run the code, first it will ask the user to enter the name of the platform, and after that it will ask for the length for that password, and it will try to generate a new password for the user. And once we are done with the generation of password, we are going to be sending a data which will be pass data, and in here I will just remove this from here and set it to platform. So first of all, we are going to be passing the platform for which we are going to be creating this password for. So it will be getting that platform from here, this input. And after that, we also need to add the password that it has generated for that particular platform. So for that, I will just rename it to password. So these two data we are going to be passing to our CSV file. The first one will be the platform which user will be providing in our input, and the generated password is provided from here. You can see we have created this variable where we are storing the password that is generated randomly. And after that, we are opening our file, which is pass.csv, and we are writing the data to it. But in this case, we want to append the data. So we will rename the mode to as append. Instead of write, we will append it, because if we write the data again to the file, it will overwrite the column name from platform and password to the platform that the user has defined and the randomly generated password. So In this case, we want to append the data to the next row automatically. So we will just add append here. And after that, we will just try to rename this to pass data. And after that, it should be able to take the input from the user for the name of the platform. And also it should generate the password randomly and save it into our pass.csv file. And it will not overwrite the previous data that we have stored in the CSV file. It will try to append the data into a new row. Let's see if we have any kind of mistake in our code or not. I think everything is fine. So if I just try to save the code and if we try to run it, so it should ask enter the name of the platform. So let me add Facebook as the name of the platform. If I hit enter, so it will ask me to enter the length of the password. So I will set it to 20 and I will hit enter. And you can see here is the randomly generated password that we get. And let's see if it has written the data into our pass.csv file. So you can see in the CSV file, the name of the platform as well as the password that it has generated is stored here. So let's try adding a new password into it and see whether it overwrites the previous data or not. I will add the password for my YouTube and add the length of the password as 25 and I will hit enter. And you can see here is the randomly generated password that we have for our YouTube account. So if I go back into our CSV file, and you can see that it has saved the password for our YouTube that our random password generator has generated for us. So I think you are successfully able to create your own password generator where you can store the password into the CSV file with the name of the platform and the randomly generated password from our password generator app. So that was it for this lesson. Let's move to the next lesson of our course. So in this lesson of our course, we will try to create a URL shortener program using which we will be able to convert our long URLs into a short URL and that we can use to share it anywhere. For this purpose, we can use different kinds of websites which are URL shortener website, but we are going to be creating a program using which we can convert our URLs into a short URL with the help of Python program. So there are different websites using which we can convert our URL and try to shorten them, but we have to open our browser and go to that particular website, and then we need to provide our URL of the website and then it will try to shorten it, but it is a long process. So to make it easy, we are going to be creating a Python program using which we can give it an input in the form of URL, and in the result it will give us the shortened URL. So let me show you an example of these kinds of website. So as you guys can see on the screen that this is a website named tiny URL. So if I just paste a huge URL here, so you can see this URL is very big in size, and if I just want to create a tiny URL of this website, so you can see this is a small URL that it has created. So using it, we can shorten the URL that we have. So basically what we will be doing is we are going to be using this tiny shortener URL in our Python code to shorten the URL and provide it as our output. So for that, first of all, we need to install this package. So I will just try to show you that. So this is the package that we need to install on our system. So for installing it, we need to type this command pip install PyShortener. So I will just copy this command and I will open the terminal. I just try to paste it and it will try to install it onto our system. And I think it has successfully installed the PyShortener package onto our system. So after that, what we will do is we will just try to import this package. So I will just type here PyShortener. And after that, what we will do is we will just try to take an input from the user. So it will be a URL. So I will create a variable that will be URL and we'll add an input field using which we will take the input from the user. So we'll type here a message for the user will be enter URL. So it will take the input in the new line. And after that, we will just try to add a print statement. And inside this print statement, we will just try to show the output to the user once the final URL is available. So I will just type here URL after And after that, I will add a comma here. And in here, we will just type py shortener dot shortener. And it will be a function. So I will do dot tiny URL dot short. And inside this short, we are going to be passing our URL. So what it will do is it will just call this function which is available inside the PyShortener library, and we are using the tiny URL shortener to shorten our URL. So once we are done with that, if I just try to save our code and we try to run it, so it will ask for the URL. So I will just try to paste an URL here, and if I hit enter, so you can see it has created the URL for us. And if I just try to click on it, so it will open the website for us. So using this piece of code, we can create a URL shortener program with just 3 lines of code, and we can shorten any kind of URL that we have. So we don't need to open any kind of website to shorten the URL. We can do it from our terminal itself. I hope you are able to create your own URL shortener program. So that was it for this lesson. Let's move to the next lesson of our course. So in this lesson of the course, we will try to create a program using which we can get the data from the Wikipedia. So let's say we want to search about a particular topic. So we can search it directly on the Wikipedia using our Python program by just passing the name of that particular topic, and it will try to give us the output in the form of the summary of that particular topic. So for that, first of all, we need to install this library. So you can see this is the page of the library, which is Wikipedia library. So to install it on our system, we need to just copy this command. And if I just try to minimize it, and we will just open our terminal, and we will just try to paste this command and hit enter. So it should install this package onto our system. So I think it has installed the package successfully onto our system. So now I will just try to close this terminal, and in our code, we will just try to import Wikipedia. And after that, we will be taking an input from the user. So I will create a variable named query that will be equals to an input. And in here, we will type enter the topic name. And I will add a /n. So it will take the input in a new line. And after taking the input from the user, we need to search on Wikipedia. So we will create another variable named result. And inside this variable result, we will try to do the search on Wikipedia. So I will do equals to Wikipedia dot summary. So using this function, we get a summary of that particular topic that we are searching for. So I will just add whatever topic we want to search for. So in this case, it will be the input from the user, that will be the query. So I will pass the query variable in here. And in the new line, we will just try to print out the result. And if I just try to save the code, and if we try to run the program, so it should ask enter the topic. So let me search for Python programming. And if I hit enter, so it will just try to search on Wikipedia and give us an output. So if I just make it a little bit larger, so you will be able to see the output that we get. So it says Python is a high level interpreted general purpose programming language. So you can see the entire summary of the Wikipedia page of Python. So you can search for any kind of topic which is available on the Wikipedia, and it will just try to show you the result on your terminal in the form of text. So this is how we can create a program to search on Wikipedia for different topics, and we will get the result in the form of a summary. So we don't need to go through the entire, so we will get the summary of that particular page in the form of text. So I hope you have learned how you can create a Wikipedia search application using Python programming. So that was it for this lesson. Let's move to the next lesson of our course. So in the previous lesson of our course, we have created this program using which we can search on Wikipedia for a particular topic, and it will return us a summary of that particular topic. So in this lesson, I thought let's create an UI for our Wikipedia search application. So we will be creating a text field where we can enter the name of the topic, and we will be adding a search button. And whenever we click on that search button, it will show us the result in a text format in a box below it. So for that, let's try to modify our code to add a GUI. So first of all, we need to import the tkenter library. So I will do from tkenter import star. So using this star, it will import all the functions inside this tkenter library. So once we are done with that, we'll just try to remove this print statement from here. We will just try to create a root variable that will be equals to tk. So we have created this object of this class, which is tk. So after that, we can create root dot title. So we are going to be giving a title to our Wikipedia application. So I will do wiki search app. After that, in the next line, we will do question that user is asking for, and we will create a label for this variable. And in here, we will do root and add a comma. And after that, we will do text, which will be equals to, in single quotes, question. After that, we will do question dot pack. After that, in the next line, we will do get underscore q, that will be equals to entry. So using this get underscore q, we will create a text box where we can get the input from the user in the form of text. And inside that, we will type root comma vd, which will be equals to 5. So I will just try to explain the code once we get our UI, so you will be able to understand it in a better way. So let me just add the remaining code in here. So I will do get q.pack, and at last we need a submit button to submit our question to the application. So I will do submit, that will be equals to a button, and the button will be root comma text. So we need to add the text for the button. I will add search. So once the button is pressed, we need to call some kind of function. So I will add command. So it will be equals to on underscore press. So we need to create this function, which is on underscore press. So once we click that, it will return the summary of that particular topic. So after that, in the next line, we will do submit dot pack, and at last we will add a text field to show the output to the user. So we will do text, and in here we will just pass the root, and at the end we will do text dot pack, and at the end of our code we will do root dot main loop, and we need to create the on press function now. So we will go here where we are taking the query from the user in the form of and user input. So we will just try to remove this from here, and after that we will create a function def on underscore press, and then in this function we will try to remove this part from here. We will do q equals to get underscore q dot get. So using it, it will get the question from the input field, and it will save it inside this q variable. So once we are done with that, we will do text dot insert in brackets. In these brackets, we will in here we will add insert in all caps on, and after that we will just remove this query and set it to q. So now what this code will do is, first of all, it will show us an interface through which we can get the question from the user. So after getting the question from the user, we are storing it in another variable, which is get underscore q. And after the user will click on the submit button, it will call this function that we have created. So it will call the function that we have created, which is the onPress function. So inside this function, first of all, we will get the question, which is coming from the user input through the question field, and it will be stored in this variable, which is q. And after that, we are returning some kind of text from here. So whatever summary of that particular topic is there, we are inserting it in the text field that we have created here. So you can see this is the text field that we have created, and it will show us the result. So let me just try to save the code and let's try to run it. So here is the output that we get. So you can see here is a box where we can search for a particular topic, and here is our search button. You can see here is where we need to ask the question to our application. So I will just type here iPhone, and let's try to search for it. Let's see what output we get. So you can see here is the output summary of the iPhone topic from the Wikipedia. So you can see the iPhone is a line of smartphone designed and marketed by Apple Inc. and so on. So here is the entire summary of iPhone from the Wikipedia page. So this is how we can create an GUI application using which we can search on Wikipedia and get the output in the form of text summary from Wikipedia. So I hope you are able to create your own GUI using which you are able to search on Wikipedia for different topics and get the summary out of it. So that was it for this lesson. Let's move to the next lesson of our course. So in this lesson of our course, we will try to create an application using which we can send different notifications to our Windows system. So if I go to my start menu right here, you can see there are different notifications which are available in this notification panel. So basically what we are going to be doing is we are going to be creating an application that can send these kinds of notification to our notification area in our Windows system. So for that, first of all, we need to install this package, which is Win10 Toast. So to install it on our system, we need to just copy this command from here. If I just try to minimize it, and in here, we will open our terminal and try to paste this command and hit enter. So it will start installing this package onto our system. It will take few seconds to install it. So now you can see it has successfully installed the package onto our system. So let's try to see if it is successfully installed or not. So for that, we will do from Win10 Toast import Toast notifier. So using this Toast notifier, we will be able to send different notification to our notification panel in our Windows system. So for now, I will just close this terminal from here. And after that, let's try to import datetime module. So for now, we will just try to send some notification related to date time. So for that, first of all, we will create a variable name data that will be equals to date time dot date time dot now. So it will return what is the current date time. So in this data variable, we have the current date time. So after that, what we will do is we will try to create a variable name toast that will be equals to toast notifier. So basically, we are creating an object of this class, which is toast notifier inside this toast variable. After that, what we will do is we'll just try to do toast dot show underscore toast, and inside this we need to pass different parameters. The first one will be what will be the notification, the title of the notification. After that, the message that we want to show to the user, and the duration of this notification. So whenever this notification pops up, so it will wait for a particular amount of time, like 5 to 10 seconds. So let me add notification as date different time update. After that, I will add a comma, and in here we are going to be providing the data that we want to display. So it will be data variable. And at last, you need to provide what will be the duration of this notification. So I will add a duration, and in here I will just provide 5. And once we are done with that, we will just try to save our code. And if I just try to run it, so it should send a notification to our Windows system. So let's try running it. Okay, so it is showing some kind of error in here. 10.10 cannot be converted to Unicode. Okay, let me try to solve this issue. So after adding this line of code, it will try to convert the data, whatever the data is, into a string format. And after that, we can display it on our notifier. So if I just try to save it and try to run it, so you can see here is the update, date time update, and it was available for just 5 seconds. So if I increase the timer from here, we run it again, you can see now it is showing the current date and time, and it will wait for 15 seconds, and after that the message will disappear automatically. So this is how we can create a notification application using Python programming. So this was just a demo to show you how we can send some kind of data to this notification application. So now it depends on your creativity and what application you want to create to send you different updates in your notification application. So you can add any kind of data into this and try to get notifications and try to get different notifications into your Windows system. So that was it for this lesson. Let's move to the next lesson of our course. So in this lesson of the course, we will try to create a YouTube video downloader using which we can download any kind of video from YouTube by just providing the link to that YouTube video, and it will start downloading it onto our local system. So for that, first of all, we need to install this library, which is YouTube DL. So I will just try to copy this command from here. And if I just try to minimize it, and in our VS Code, I will just open the terminal and paste this command in here. And if I hit enter, so it will start downloading this library onto our system. So you can see now it has successfully installed it after a few seconds. So I will just try to close this terminal for now. And after that, in here, we will just try to import this library. I will type import YouTube underscore DL. And after that, here we are going to be taking an input from the user. That will be the URL for that video. So I will type here URL, which will be equals to input. And in here, I will ask the user to enter the URL for the video. I will add a /n at the end of it. And in the next line, what we will do is we will type with YouTube underscore DL dot, and we are going to be calling this function that will be YouTube DL. And after that, we will set it to as YDL colon, and in here we will do YDL dot download, and inside this download function we are going to be passing the URL which we are getting from the user. And after that, we also need to add square brackets in here. So after that, if I just try to save the code and if we try to run it, so it will ask for the URL. If I just add the URL in here, if we hit enter, so it will just try to download that video for us. So you can see here it is trying to download that particular video from our YouTube channel. So you can add any kind of video link from YouTube and it will just try to download it from the channel for you in your local system. So this is how you can create a YouTube video downloader using Python programming. So I think that was it for this lesson. Let's move to the next lesson of our course. So in this particular lesson of the course, we will try to create an audio extractor using which we can export the audio from a video file and save it in a MP3 format. So for that, first of all, we need to install this package onto our system, which is MoviePy. So I will just try to copy this command from here, and in our terminal, we will just try to paste this command to install it onto our system, and it will take few seconds to install it onto our system. Okay, so you can see that it has successfully installed the package onto our system. So now what we will do is we will just try to close this terminal from here, and inside of our code we will just try to import this library. So I will type import movie file dot editor as mp, and after that we are going to be also importing the OS library. So once we are done with that, we need to create a variable name path. I will type here path that will be equals to input. So this will be the path for the video file that we want to convert into mp3. So I will add a message inside this input field. I'll type enter the path for the video file and add a /n at the end of it. And after that, in the next line, what we will do is we will create a variable name video clip that will be equals to mp dot video file clip, and in here we are going to be passing the variable path, so it will know this is the particular video that we need to work on. And after that, in the next line we will do audio clip. So in this variable we are going to be saving the audio clip from this particular video that we have added. So I will type video clip dot audio. So we are saving the audio inside this audio clip variable. And after that, in the next line we'll do audio clip dot write audio file, and we are going to be creating a new file which will be a mp3 file where we are going to be saving this audio dot mp3. And after that, it should save the audio file as audio.mp3. So once we are done with that, if we just try to save the code, so for the demo purpose, I have already added a video inside our folder. So from here, we need to copy the path for this particular file. And after that, we will just try to save the code and try to run it. And it will ask us for the path for the video file. So I will add it in here. And if we hit enter, so it will try to extract the audio from this video file, and we will get an audio file inside our folder. So you can see here is the audio file. So if I just try to open it and play it. Hello and welcome to this course in which you're going to be learning about how you can create the face recognition. So you can see that it has successfully extracted the audio from the video file that we have. So here is the video file. I just try to. Hello and welcome to this course. So you can see that both the audios are exactly same. So it has successfully extracted the audio from this video file. So I think that was it for this audio extractor video, and you have successfully able to build this audio extractor application with the help of Python. So that was it for this lesson. Let's move to the next lesson of our course. So in this lesson of the course, we are going to be creating a news updater using which we can get different updates related to latest news in the market. So let's say you want to get a news about a particular topic. Let's say it is artificial intelligence, or it is about a particular person like Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg. So you can get different updates related to that particular news topic, and it will give you new updates related to that kind of news that you are interested in. So you can add a particular topic of your interest, and it will give you the news update related to that. So you can see this is the website which we are going to be using. So it is newsapi.org. So first of all, we need to install this package onto our system. So for installing this package onto our system, we need to click on get started. And after that, in the client library, you can see that Python is available. So we will just click on Python, and it will give us a command to install it onto our system. So I will just try to copy this from here, and we will go inside our VS Code and open our terminal and paste this code in here to install this news API library onto our system. And after hitting enter, you can see it has successfully installed it onto our system. So after that, I will just close this terminal window, and we will go back to the website. So you can see here is the code that we can use. So for now, what I will do is I will just try to copy this part from here, and I will just add it in our code. So you can see here is what it looks like. So for accessing this news, we need a news API key that we can generate from this website. So we will go back to the newsapi.org website, and in here you can see we can click on get API key, and it will ask us to register onto this platform. So you just need to add your first name, your email address, and a password, and you just need to provide whether you are an individual or you are a business. So you can set it to an individual and just click on I agree to terms and click on submit. So it will create an account for you. So I already have an account here, so I will just try to log in into my account. So I have successfully logged in to my account, and you can see here is my API key. So I will just try to copy this, and I will just try to replace this API key from here and paste my API key. So you can add your own API key in this kind of field. So once we are done with that, we need to get the top headlines, and you can see here is what it looks like. So here is a demo code that we have copied from that website. So for now, we will just try to print out this part, which is top headlines. So if I just type here print top headlines. So after that, we will just try to save the code, and if we try to run it, so you can see it is giving us some kind of error. So to overcome this error, what I will do is I will just try to remove some parts from here. So I'll just remove this, and also the sources. And if we just try to save the code, and if we try to run it, so you can see on the output screen that it is giving us the news is in the form of JSON format. So you can see here are different news related to Bitcoin, that the topic that we have selected here. So you can see here is the query, but you can see that the output is not in a proper format, and we are unable to read that. So to overcome this issue, we need to add few lines of code in here. So I will just try to close this terminal from here, and what I will do is I will create a variable name dt that will be equals to top headlines, and in top headlines we are going to be searching for different articles. So I will just add articles, and after that in the next line we will run a for loop, and we will do x comma y in enumerate, and in here we're going to be passing the dt variable that we have created. And after that in the new line we will do print. It will be a formatted string, and we will add single quotes. Inside that we are going to be adding curly braces, in which we are going to be passing the x variable, and we are also going to be creating another curly braces in which we are going to be passing y, and in square brackets we are going to be passing description. So after that it should return us with the name of the article and also the description of that particular article. So let me just try to save the code and try to run it again. So you can see now the output is in much proper format. So you can see here is the article number 1, and it shows some kind of data into it. So here is a summary of that particular data, and we can get different outputs in here. So you can see there are different outputs that we get in here. So all these newses are related to Bitcoin. So let me just try to change the topic to something else. So let me change the topic to a particular person, that is Elon Musk, and we will just try to save the code, and if we try to run it, so you will be able to find different articles where Elon Musk name is mentioned, and this is the particular topic which we are talking about. And you can see there are 7 articles that it has written us, and we can see the summary of that particular topic. So we get different outputs in here. You can see, so we have around 7 articles as an output for our news application. So this is how we can create a news application using Python. So now you can get this data into a particular variable, and you can send it anywhere. So now let's say you want to create an application that will send you news articles related to a particular topic every day on your email address in the morning. So you can create that kind of application using this news API, or you can create an news updater application that will update you about a particular topic of your interest every few minutes using Win10 library. So you can add different kinds of update related to any topic. So I think you are successfully able to create your own news application using Python programming, and you are able to get different news updates in your Python code. So that was it for this lesson. Let's move to the next lesson of our course. So in this lesson of the course, we will try to create an camera application using which we will be able to capture images using Python code. So for that, first of all, we need to install this package onto our system, which is OpenCV package. So for that, I will just try to copy this command from here, and inside our terminal, we will just try to paste it and hit enter. So it will start downloading this package onto our system. So it will take few minutes to install it. I will get back once it is successfully installed. So you can see it has successfully installed this package onto our system. So now I will just try to close this terminal. And after that, we will just try to import this library into our code and see whether it has successfully installed it or not. So I will do cv2. So we don't need to type OpenCV, import OpenCV. We instead need to type cv2. So I think it has successfully installed the package onto our system. So after that, we will just try to capture the image using our camera. But on my desktop system, I don't have any webcam connected. So to overcome this problem, we are going to be using the camera of our mobile phone. So let me show you the process of installing this application on our Android phone, using which we will be able to use the mobile phone's camera as our webcam for our desktop system. So let's move to our mobile screen now. So on our Android phone, first of all, we will open the Play Store application. And in here, we're going to be searching for IP webcam, and we will get this first result that will be IP webcam application. And in here, we will just try to click on install, and it will start installing it onto our Android phone. So it will take few seconds to install it. And keep in mind that you have connected the Android phone with your Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi is connected on the same network to which your laptop or desktop is connected. Otherwise, it will not work. So I will just open the application, and you can see here are different settings that we can do on this application. So I will just scroll down and click on Start Server. And after that, it will try to ask for some permission. So I will just allow them. And after that, you will be able to see this kind of interface on your screen. So here it is also mentioned that what is your IP address using which we can access the server that it has created for us. So we can open this IP address on our web browser, and we will be able to see what video it has captured. So let's move back to our computer system and complete our code for the camera application. And after running the server on the Android phone, we need to just write a few lines of code to capture the image from our mobile phone's camera. So for that, first of all, we will create a new variable named cap that will be equals to cv2 dot video capture. And in here, we're going to be providing the ID of our webcam. So if you have already connected a webcam with your desktop system, or if you're using your laptop, so you can set it to 0. And if you have multiple webcams connected with your system, so then you can use 1 or 2 number here to provide the ID of that particular webcam which is connected with your system. So right now we will set it to 0. And after that, in the next line, we will create a variable named address that will be equals to, and in double quotes, we are going to be providing the address. So on our Android application, we can see that there is an IP address that is provided. So using this IP address, we can access our mobile phone's camera. So I will just open my Chrome browser, and in here, we're going to be searching for that IP address 192.168.1.6:8080. And if I hit enter, so you will be able to see these kinds of interface on your web browser. And if I just click on browser, so you will be able to see the video from our camera. So if I just try to wave my hand in front of the camera, you can see here is my hand waving in front of the camera. So we are able to access our mobile's camera using this IP address. So what we will do is we will just try to copy this address from here, and you can do different settings in here. So if you want to zoom in a little bit, so you can do it from here. So you can do different stuff using this page. So if you want to change the resolution of the video or something else, so you can do all these things here. So you can go through this page and just try to see if you want to make any kind of changes in here. So for now, I will just try to minimize this, and inside this address we're going to be pasting this URL that we have now. So it is http://192.168.1.6:8080, and after this slash I will add video. So it will capture the video from this URL. And after that, in the next line, what we will do is we will type cap.open, and in this open we're going to be providing the address. So it will be using our mobile phone's camera as our webcam. After that, in the new line we will do while. So we are going to be creating a while loop, and it will be having a value of true. And inside this while loop we are going to be creating a variable name frame. So I will do ret comma frame, that will be equals to cap dot read. So it is going to be reading the data from our mobile phone's camera and storing it inside this frame variable. And this ret is a format that OpenCV uses to create a frame. So this is the format that we need to use to create a variable in which we are going to be storing the video that we are capturing from our mobile's camera or our webcam. So once we are done with that, in the new line we will do cv2 dot imshow. So using this imshow function, we will be able to show or display whatever frames that we are capturing in this frame variable, or whatever video that we are capturing from our webcam. And in here, first we need to name this frame. So it will be a UI that will be displayed on our screen. So for this display, so in here I will just name it as frame and add a comma, and after that we will just pass the frame that we are capturing or the video that we are capturing, and we just want to show it to the user on the UI. So it will be displaying it on our computer screen. And after that, in the next line I will do if cv2 dot wait key, and inside this bracket I will provide 20. So using this line of code, we will be able to stop our code whenever we want. So it will be waiting for a key press, and whenever that key is pressed, at that time it will stop the program. So to stop our program, we will add an and here, and we will do 0xff, that will be equals to ord, and in here we're going to be passing a variable q. So if we press the q key on our keyboard, at that time we want to break this code or we want to stop the program. So we are adding this line of code. So for stopping the program, we just need to press this wait key, which is q, and after that it will stop the program for us. And outside our while loop, we are going to be doing cap dot release, and after that I will do cv2 dot destroy all windows. So it will close all the windows that we have created using this code. After that, I think it should work. So let's try saving the code, and if we try to run it, so it would pop up a window here. So you can see here is the output that we get. So here is the frame that it has created. So we have named this frame in here. So you can see that we have given it a name as frame, and it is displaying what output it is capturing from our mobile's camera. So if I just try to wave my hand in front of it, you can see here is my hand, and we are successfully able to capture the video from our mobile phone's camera using our Python code, and it is able to display it in the real time. And we have also added this wait key. So if I just click on Q, so it will stop the program for us, and it will destroy all the windows that it has created. After that, we want to capture the image and save it on our system. So for that, we just need to add another if statement. So what I will do is I will just try to copy this if statement and add it in here. So in this if statement, we need to make some changes. So for that, I will just change this value of 20 to 33, and we will just try to remove this part from here. And instead of the Q key, we are using it for quitting the program. So we are going to be using the A key to capture the image. So whenever we press this A key, so it will try to capture the image and save it for us. So after that, we will just try to remove this break from here, and we will do tv2 dot I am right. And inside this I am right function, we are going to be passing the name of the file that we want it to save it. So I will do image.png, and after that we will add a comma in here, and I will just pass the frame. So it should capture an image with the name image.png from our frame. So if we just try to save the code now, and if we try to run it, so let's see what output we get. So now we have our output on the screen, and if I just press the A key, so it should capture an image and save it inside our folder. So if I just go here, and if we just search for image.png, so you can see here is the image it has captured using our code. So let me just try to wave my hand in front of it. We will try to capture an image again. So here is my hand in front of the camera. So on the output, you can see that it has captured an image with my hand in the frame with the help of our code that we have written for the camera application using Python. So we are successfully able to capture the image using our camera application now. So I hope you are successfully able to create the camera application using Python code, and you are able to use your mobile phone's camera as your webcam or your camera for this camera application. So I hope you like this project of camera application using Python programming, and you have learned a lot about the OpenCV package as well. So that was it for this lesson. Let's move to the next lesson of our course.